This is the Sonic Truth Dynasty podcast. I am here with my man, Jax Falcone, and back to co-host the show. It's so good to have Alan Seslowsky from RotoWire. There's a lot of news coming out because of the NFL owners meetings. Some things are slipping out. Some shadows of a truth slipping out, and more mock drafts coming out, more news about, hey, what teams are interested in what types of players, and that could impact rookie drafts. We have a lot to talk about today on the Sonic Truth Dynasty podcast. All right, fellas, you ready? Ready to do this?
Born ready.
Okay.
I thought this would be.
Hey,
Go ahead. We stepped on each other already. Off to a bad start.
I told you this would happen at the beginning of the show. I said, listen, I'm going to host, but I know we're going to be stepping on each other's feet, and this is going to happen. I tried to not talk about this with Andrew Cooper, and we couldn't, and ended up kind of like bringing the show and dragging it into the mud. So let's just get it out of the way. Puka Nacua has checked into rehab. Your thoughts?
Good for him. He's on the way to recovery, right? I mean, nobody's selling him cheap. I mean, and sure, you may be able to get like a player a couple of years older, right, guys? You might be able to swap him for Amon-Ra St. Brown or something like that, but it at least opens the door to a conversation rather than getting the door slammed in your face.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's up. You're not going to find a bigger Puka defender than me, so there will be no Puka slander from Jax Falcone. I love the dude. So, but I think you're right. In terms of Dynasty, it probably does open up the door to pivot. I would imagine, plenty of Dynasty managers would be more than happy to pivot to Amon-Ra. So to your point, I would think that as of right now, you would even probably be looking a little bit further down the board, to the Tets and the ilk of that. So, yeah.
Right. Use age as like a Dynasty currency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt? You think he's gonna be okay? I heard your soliloquy on Twitter, and it was smart. It was correct, but what do you think past that?
I think that it's not good that he is not 100% focused on his strength and conditioning and the game in the off season. That itself isn't great, but I do think that taking this quick action and saying, hey, I need to do something about this. This is, my life is headed in the wrong direction. A lot of people don't have that level of I think that self-awareness was really important, and it kind of sort of validated the buy the dip advice that we've been giving on him all along. And so that sort of, instead of that scaring me more, it actually reinforced the advice. Like, no, he's actually headed in the right direction.
Right.
Yeah. What if he loses his superpowers? Like Lawrence Taylor was all coked up when he was playing, right? I mean, Dwight Gooden, Darryl Strawberry.
Point. Yeah, they're gonna have to give him some more like cocaine on the field. Like
that was it.
Yeah,
you're right, Alan.
That's why he's here.
He's gonna behave like a day 3. He's gonna perform like a day 3 pick now that he always was.
That's right. Yeah, he was only good because of that. He was he was always just racing down the field, on cocaine, outrunning everybody.
You think
that
about
was his game. I read that was his game. That's Puka's game, right?
Yeah, you think about the best wide receivers; they're all a little tapped. Antonio Brown, right? All these guys are Steph Diggs. You want these guys to be a little bit crazy. The ones that are, wound too tight, they end up not making it. They're busts, really. You're looking for. That's why I like this Mekhi Lemon. You know what I mean? He sounds like he's crazy enough to be good.
There's a few guys. Papa, there's a few guys in my league that have like pick 4 and 5. They were able to get like 2 lottery picks. Do you think? So that's basically what wide receiver 2 and 3 in this class. Yep. Would you trade both of those to get out of the Puka business, or is that's selling cheap?
No, I'm not trying to get out of the Puka business. I'm trying to get into the Puka business.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you kidding me? I think this is a buying opportunity now. Absolutely. I think it matters, right? I think it absolutely matters. I think that he's, not in the market, not in the range of outcomes in the first month of the season to surpass Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't think there's anything he can do now.
No.
Right. I think that ship is gone. right? Like he's still on the pier waving, wondering when his contract's going to come in. This will actually hurt him in negotiations. But I think they're going to get a deal done. Of course they're going to get a deal done. Like the Bengals that don't spend any money extended T. Higgins. Like, like this is Puka's going to get it. It's all just a formality.
Yes.
If it was a running back, then it would be it could be a real problem, right? Even Kenneth Walker with the Super Bowl MVP wasn't enough. But if you're just a pretty good number 2 receiver, you're locked in.
Yeah. Isn't this like franchise tag stuff, Jax, though?
Maybe. I mean, that's beyond my I have no idea. I literally don't. I have no clue as to what will happen there.
When you can punt a decision a year if you're unsure, that's what the franchise tag is for, right? They could actually do this. They could actually do this twice, and it'd be worth it.
Yeah, it may just prolong it. I mean, I don't think he's this kind of player. I think he's fine. I think everything's going to be fine. I mean, obviously there's a little something there, but I think it's a little bit more about his relationship than it is about him as I don't know. He's probably had some issues, but I agree with Matt. The fact that he's checking into this stuff and that he's just sort of nipping it in the bud is sort of like, no, I got this. And this is the PR curve back to normality.
You actually see this a lot with athletes, celebrities. I feel like I've heard this story many times where it's like, I think Rob Lowe talked about this, how he got really out of control and he was doing cocaine every night and he was living in LA and it was wild. And he woke up one day and he was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I want to have a career. I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world. I can't let this happen. And like overnight, he was like a different guy. He just said, enough.
Those years must have been fun though. Being Rob Lowe.
Those early Rob Lowe years.
Holy.
Yeah. I'm going to go on a limb and say they were even better than the early Puka Nacua years.
Yes, sir.
I think it's probably hard to beat those early Rob Lowe years. Absolutely.
Wow. Yep. Oh, those were.
Wow. Yeah. So I've really been enjoying like this year. One of the things that I have, one of the resolutions that I made was that I was going to be on top of the news. And one of the things that bothered me was once in a while in a show, someone would mention something and it happened yesterday and I was not aware of it.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
And it actually really bothered me. And I said, never again. And so I'm on top of it, man. Like when there's, when these coaches, when they are whispering, like I'm hearing, like I have one of those extendable ears. Like I'm out there. Okay. I'm paying attention. So I actually made a top 5 list, put it on Patreon of the 5 comments that were made at the owners' meetings, news beat reports that came out at the same time on players that I think were the most important or the most actionable. I want to get your thoughts if you think these are just nothing burgers and that now I'm too in it and I need to dial it back and I need to calibrate and I need to be not so absorbed by football news, but I am, man. I love this shit. This is awesome. I love hearing that Josh Downs is freaking good from the general manager, reminding people. It's just a reminder to me, and it should be to everybody in fantasy, that this guy is the perfect fit for Daniel Jones, a check down quarterback, and his name is Josh Downs. Check Downs, Josh Downs, Daniel Jones. Like, this is how you get to like 150 targets. This is how you can catch more passes in a season than Jamar Chase, where you have the other wide receiver opposite you is a field stretcher who maxes out at 100 targets a season. That's perfect. It's the perfect situation. You get Tyler Warren down the seam, and the whole underbelly of the defense opens up for Josh Downs every single time. He's 24 years old, man. He came out early.
150 targets, man. We got to get him up to 90 first before we get him to 150. But yeah, I traded for him last year with all the hype I got. And now I'm sitting there with a guy that like I can't even start, can't trade, can't. He's just sitting on my bench. So maybe this opens it up for a trade that somebody's interested. It sounds like if you and I were in a league, Podfather, we could probably do something.
No. What I'm telling you is he's going to be startable every week. This is a guy you're going to want to start every week. Who else is going to get the targets in Indiana? What am I missing here?
Yeah.
Is there another guy? I love Ashton Doolin. But I mean, are we talking about Ashton Doolin? Who is this mystery wide receiver that's going to be commanding targets other than Josh Downs? Michael Pittman's gone, right? You think Alec Pierce 200 targets? What are you talking about? That's not the type of player he is. Do you guys think do you guys have a lot of Alec Pierce?
Is that a joke? No, of course I don't have a lot of Alec Pierce.
If you had Alec Pierce, how quickly would you be trading him?
Here's the
what,
depth.
What an opportunity! What an opportunity to trade Alec Pierce. No, go ahead, Alan.
Here's the depth chart, and then the depth chart of pass catchers is
ready. Hold on. Ready?
The depth chart of pass catchers is Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren, Josh Downs, and Nick Westbrook, Akine, and Laquan Treadwell.
And Ashton Doolin.
Yeah.
Well, Ashton Doolin's better than the last two guys you mentioned, but regardless, this is what we're talking about.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
this is what we're talking about. And let's see, where are the Colts drafting? Do you think that they
don't
should
have
be in the market for
pick.
a wide receiver? They absolutely should be. I don't know if they are.
The Jets have their pick.
Where is so they're drafting in the second round?
They sure are.
What pick in the second round is the question?
Well, they had 16 in the first round, so assume it's probably there unless they traded or moved.
Well, let's look together. Here we are, everybody. Oh, the beauty of Player Profiler. We can always just show it to the people. At some point, we can show it to the people.
There you go. Colts pick.
Is this it? No, this isn't.
15th in the second round. I'm showing pick 15. Who's the producer on this thing?
I'm having a very hard time with getting the screen to load properly. Here it is.
You're doing great. This is outstanding stuff.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So this is it. This is it, man.
Pick 15.
Yeah.
They are picking at pick 47.
Yep.
So that's the earliest they're going to a wide receiver that they get at pick 47 is not a wide receiver that's going to threaten Josh Downs in 2026. That's the point.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Good
no.
point.
And a lot of the receivers that are there are sort of X type receivers, Surratt, Brazel type of players. So, I suppose they're not going to take a slot there. Want to hear something? You're going to love this one, Matt. Career target rate. So targets per route run for Alec Pierce and Josh Downs. Josh Downs, 22.8%. Care to guess what Alec Pierce's target rate is?
Just because you said it like that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess 18%. Just because you said it like that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
19.3%.
14%.
No.
14%.
And for the uninformed,
this is your king. This is your king. 14%. Like, get the hell out of here.
But
it's
Jax,
so
are you
crazy.
not a follower?
Josh Downs is easily the best target earner at the wide receiver position. It's not even close. And look, I don't know. Josh Downs is no alpha predator, but
no.
Look, almost betting straight up, I would take Josh Downs over Alec Pierce. When you factor in cost, it's not even close.
What about follow the money, right? I mean, they're paying the guy nearly $30 million a year.
No, Marquez Valdez-Scantling got money. I mean, players get money. Speed gets money. Downfield play gets money. Target earners get targets. Alec Pierce is awesome in regular football, like real actual football. Like if this was a football podcast and we're talking about football, I'd be like, dude, Alec Pierce is hard to replace. A big outside guy that can stretch the field and make plays downfield and still be pretty good elsewhere. That's a valuable player in the NFL. That's why they paid him money. Josh Downs, you're like, we can find one of those. We can find one of those guys, sort of. But Josh Downs does also earn targets at a better rate than Alec Pierce by quite a bit. So the money is not going to throw the ball that many times.
Right. The question that I have here though is part of the Pierce rhetoric leading up to the contract was that his agent said that he wants to go somewhere where he's going to be a 10 target a game player. Like that was part of the negotiating tactic. But you're saying what actually happens on the field is different than the rhetoric before the contract.
Of course. Yeah. The proof is in the pudding. Even last year, he was 15.8%, 15.9 in his big, awesome contract year. So yeah, not great. Actually, that's wrong. It's a little bit higher than that.
He just led the league. Yeah. Every time he caught the ball, though, he gained a lot of yards, right? Like the yards per reception is
17%. My apologies. I don't want everybody to check me on that. 17%. His best year, 17. So yeah, he's between 12 and 17% for his his target rate. Yeah, he was great. He's great. 21 yards per catch. I mean, his ADOT, let's see, last year was 20. So a lot has to change for Alec Pierce. If it does, wow, that'll be awesome. I hope it does. I love the guy. I hope he, right?
I hope it does.
Great, but it has to change. Something drastic will change. It'll be like, wow, what an anomaly of change for Alec Pierce this year. The ADOT comes way down. The target rate goes way up for him to do that. That's what has to happen. It's more likely that he's trying to aspire to be Jameson Williams, and he's not Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is a better player.
Alec Pierce, wide receiver 30 in the Dynasty consensus rankings. Don't you guys think he's got upside to be a top 15 fantasy receiver?
Sure. Yeah. Of course he does.
What?
Yeah.
Alec Pierce?
He could get there with touchdowns and yards. Like Jameson Williams has gotten there. His upside is Jameson Williams. That's where his upside is. So it's there, but I don't like to necessarily bet on the yards and touchdowns. I'd rather just take, the receptions, and especially in PPR leagues. But yeah, he has upside there. Yeah.
I don't think that Daniel Jones with Alec Pierce can make that happen. I just don't
doubt it will happen. I'd bet against it. Yeah.
I bet very, very strongly against it. And if you're looking in the consensus rankings for Josh Downs, you might need to, you might need to get some binoculars. It's gonna take a while. Keep scrolling.
Yeah. Nobody wants him. You're right about that for sure.
Keep scrolling. And if you let him go at this point, I mean, you're a complete idiot. You can't let him go. You have to. Gobble up all the Downs, all the Warren. Now Downs is like a throw-in. You can just get him. If you see him on a roster, add him to the deal automatically. Warren, you have to be more deliberate with a purpose and go out and get him. And I am doing that as well. Because it's like, to me, there's very few teams where the two of the top three members of the receiving game are easy to attain, relatively easy to attain. And I think are teed up to smash so dramatically. Again, Warren, there's already a lot of enthusiasm around him.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to pay to get him. With Downs, it's a little more striking, the value that you're getting. But either way, I mean, if I look down my roster and I see Warren and Downs, I think week in, week out too, it's just a great way to like make sure you're gonna get production from that passing game with either one of those two guys will get you there.
I think what Jack said actually was the point that struck home the best on this, that persuaded me a little bit to where you're going, Podfather, is that the upside is Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams finished as wide receiver 10, but no one's valuing him like that, right? Like there's the value, it doesn't match the production. And in Dynasty, obviously value is everything because that gets us in and out of players. So that's the most persuasive argument right now.
Yeah. And to give you some context around that, Alan, like, basically right now you've got two players in Tyler Warren and Josh Downs that do command targets. And Alec Pierce last year was the wide receiver 28 in PPR. So, that's fine. Like you say, I think he's probably a pretty solid wide receiver too with weekly upside. That's what he will be for sure. Like, he did get the money. He's going to be focused on a little bit more. I would think he could look, if he gets to 20% target share, even just that, and does continue to make big plays. Look, that's where the ceiling is, of course. Like, that it's clear to see, he runs 450 or 500 routes, right? Gets to 100 targets. Like, because, that's what Tyler Warren got last year was 100 targets on 500 routes. I doubt that, like, straight up Alec Pierce out targets Tyler Warren. I would think Tyler Warren would start to also want more targets, right? I mean, he's a Right. So it's very interesting to see. And of course, you have a player named Jonathon Taylor in the backfield who you should be trying to get the ball to above all of these guys.
Who's going to be quarterback week 1 through 4, right? Like, what if Daniel Jones isn't ready week 1 through 4? I mean, that's a big problem too.
Then that quarterback is ultimately going to check it down to Josh Downs.
Right.
I
and
mean,
Tyler
it's the
Warren
same
and
thing.
Jonathan Taylor. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same, I think that the target leader is going to be Josh Downs on that team, and it'll be then Warren, then Pierce, then Taylor. But just those 4 guys, very consolidated.
Sure.
It's also a case for Jonathon Taylor. The whole thing. I just loved.
And
I loved it. It warmed my soul for the GM to make a point to like make sure everyone was crowded around him, and he just wanted to say, "Hey, I got a comment I want to make. Josh Downs is freaking good."
To your point, too, they could bring in, a free agent or, Elijah Surratt type of player in the second round to sort of replicate what Pittman was. I mean, Surratt Pittman, that's actually a comp I have for him. That's the range he could go in. They could just be like, perfect. Look at that. We got the band back together, except we don't have to pay Pittman. We're getting Surratt at a second round value. So that could also muddy things. But I think it muddies it a little bit more for the Pierce upside than it does although Downs would be hurt by that too. But
it's more for 2027, man. It's not, that wouldn't be a big concern.
I agree.
We're talking about a guy getting 60 targets.
Yep. I agree.
It's not a big deal. Right.
Yep,
but yeah, in 2027, but I'm saying like, and okay, so Josh Downs gets 150 targets in his age 24 season, and you have him in Dynasty, you're happy. You're welcome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's so easy to see him bringing in like Debo Samuel or Juwan Jennings, right? Just like another player that's probably at least going to get 4 targets a game. And then what if Tyreek Hill, they roll the dice on him? Or there's still guys out there that could take away a handful each week and be on the field during, meaningful offensive snaps though.
You're spinning these wild hypotheticals. Just be on board with Pierce, man. You said you traded for him.
Yeah.
I traded for him. Yeah,
lean into the player. You should have a pro Downs bias.
Oh, right? I have both. I mean,
we're trying to lean into Josh Downs here. Like get with it. Get with the program.
Yeah, I think straight up you're betting on Pierce in finality. Of course you're betting on Pierce to be the PPR leader of the team, but at value it's not even remotely close, because I think Downs has a legit shot to lead the team in PPR points.
Absolutely.
I made such a bad trade for him last year
at the wide receiver position. Yeah.
In superflex, I traded away Baker Mayfield. You remember how hot Downs was last year as like his name value? I traded away Baker last year for Josh Downs and the right to draft Travis Hunter. And I'm just still sitting here with like 2 duds on my roster. And if you guys listen, I'm hoping what you guys are right here, because that'll at least, like when you make a bad trade in Dynasty and you just sit with it for years and just like, if I didn't do that or I did this, like that one is still a little bit of a gut punch to me.
Whenever you give up a quarterback in Superflex, I was
going to say, there it is. You better get one back.
Right.
It was one of those where I had 4.
Either that or you better go with a guy that is undeniable. And
lesson learned.
You went with 2 players that were very deniable.
Yep.
One player wasn't even fully committed to the position he was supposed to play for fantasy. So, yeah, I think that was more of a Travis Hunter regret factor than there was like Josh Downs. Josh Downs was kind of a guy you were getting in as well. He was the secondary piece.
Yes.
And the secondary piece might save you a little bit is what we're saying.
If you'd have listened to Undrafted, you wouldn't have taken Travis Hunter there at all. You'd have listened you'd have traded down and gotten a Puka plus. So you'd have a Puka plus Downs. Anyway,
I was doing this with Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
I was not hearing any of it. I thought Travis Hunter last year was legitimately the guy that could break down the Jamar Chase tier, like knock on that door. It just couldn't have been more wrong. It wasn't just like slightly wrong. I mean, would he even go in the first round of that draft if we redrafted last year's rookies? I don't even think he'd be,
What, now?
Yeah, no way. I mean,
he's
and in the real NFL draft too, he wouldn't be a top 10 pick.
I don't know if you can get a 3rd round pick from right now.
Yeah, so you got to hold him until the only good thing is he had that big game before the injury. Like that's the only piece of hope you have to hold on to right now.
Yeah.
All right. My next favorite bit of news / coach speak from the NFL owners meetings is Dalton Kincaid. Fellas, Dalton Kincaid is officially damaged goods.
Not good.
Not good. I mean,
Not
when
good.
I say favorite, I mean most actionable. I'm not happy about this.
Right.
Explains
Biggest.
why they weren't
Maybe
playing
say
him.
biggest. Most something else. Find a different word. Not favorite.
Explains why they weren't playing him so much. Everyone was complaining about the lack of, playing time and snaps. Maybe they knew something that we didn't, right?
Dude, he's not getting his PCL repaired. He's playing through a torn ligament in his knee. Think about this for a second.
Bad.
I don't like this at all. This is
No.
horrible.
Yes.
Like this is why he's a low floor, low ceiling player. Like there are some guys in Dynasty that still have value just because they were first round picks and they're still young. And that to me is the quintessential sell low. You don't sell low just because you're trying to get the guy off your roster. It's not about cleaning roster cloggers. That's also that's another sort of best practice in Dynasty. When we talk about selling low at the right time, we're talking about selling and getting something back for someone like a second rounder, where if you wait a year or two, you'll get nothing. And that's what we're talking about with Kincaid.
Yeah.
Jax, would you take George Kittle off the injury at age 150 or Dalton Kincaid? What do you want in Dynasty rest of career?
Rest of career, I mean, it's Kincaid. The question is whether or not Kittle is a better bet to come back. It's a tough one. I mean, obviously, oh man,
I know it's the type of trades you can make, though, right? Like that one.
But this is classic Dynasty right here. This is classic Dynasty. I could either have Kincaid and he'll never move the needle and help me win ever, or I could have for 7 years.
Yeah.
Or I could have 2 years of Kittle, and one of those years he helps me win.
Yeah, no, I'd rather have Kittle. But the point of the matter is that, Kittle is not exactly the best pivot, but he's fine.
But that's the type of trade that can actually get done. Like if you go to somebody right now and try to get like a healthy player that's ascending, even someone like Brenton Strange or T Ferg or, they're going to be like, they want something else. They want it. If you want them to take on the liability, Kittle, he's not playing, right? But we know what happens when he comes back. So again, yes, you always want that plus. When I listen to the Undroppables, it's always about getting that plus, right? But sometimes if you just want out right now, like Podfather said, sell low. Right. Kittle's the perfect guy because he's got the top 6 upside when he's back on the field.
Hell yeah. The other way, of course, is to package him up and trade him to someone like Allen who likes Travis Hunter, but
not anymore.
No, I'm joking. But the real answer there is like literally throw him in package, you put, I always say people will value Kincaid in their mind when he's part of other things. You have this, that, the other. You have a second round pick, a Rashad White and Amon-Ra, and you're like, whoa, there's a lot of, look at this. I'm getting Kincaid, I'm getting Amon-Ra, and then you just make a trade where you're getting some other shit that equals all that stuff, and that's how you got off Kincaid. Who cares?
I'm upgrading my tight end.
Yeah,
I'm sending him Ertz. He's sending me Kincaid.
Yeah.
An upgrade at tight end. This is a positive aspect for the trade.
Yes.
Like, we're upgrading your tight end big time. Huge upgrade at your tight end.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, Kincaid.
Yep. And then meanwhile, you just shuffled the deck chairs with, Amon-Ra, CeeDee Lamb, or whatever, whatever they want, whatever one,
He's off your roster.
Yep.
Right? He's off your, because
a lot of times though, it's hard. Like you see all these players come in a trade, it's like headache. I got to sort through and then stick them in. If the guy who needs a tight end, but I'm saying the guy who needs a tight end because there's nothing on the waiver wire and his second tight end is like, it's Cole Kmet, right? Like he just has Kincaid and Kmet on his roster and he just wants a little bit more, security long term. I mean, that's where I'm saying it's like you're not going to trick that player. Someone who's going to be starting Evan Ingram, right? Or
sell him for 27 second if you can. Then
that's a good point too. Use that draft capital.
27 second, simple and easy.
I can trick him.
You can trick everybody, but 27 second if you're trying to make it simple, I would do that.
Dynasty players are just so they listen to so many podcasts and so much content. You cannot trick. And if you're in some league where people aren't paying attention, which is not anyone in your guys' leagues where you do with like your communities and stuff, and certainly not any of the leagues I'm in where you're gonna pull that off. People know about the 27 picks. They know about, that Dalton Kincaid is hurt. They get notifications that pop up on their thing. I just feel like the edge is what Popfather says is losing value on a trade like that, right? Just take him off my roster. Give me the injured guy that I know, like Kittle, that could smash when he comes back. But who the hell knows?
Well, that's where, I feel I almost feel a little bit guilty for not touting Josh Downs before this news came out.
Yeah.
Because even that little comment is going to, and of course, what are we doing on Player Profiler? The /news section of Player Profiler has a dynasty bend. And so, of course, that's going to be one of the highlighted news items. The only things you see on the Player Profiler news are ones that are actionable for fantasy. And boom, there's a Josh Downs blurb that pops up. And it's like, yeah, we actually all should have collectively figured this out a little bit earlier. But there'll be enough people that aren't like zeroed into the NFL owners meeting news. And a lot of those people have Josh Downs just kind of there. So I still think there's that's one so far, one player where we are saying something that you're not going to hear on other dynasty podcasts.
Yeah. Somebody in the comments called Jack sexy.
Whoa. Lucky.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I next to me, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I do.
They probably have us confused. That's all. Don't worry about
it. Third news item that I was a big fan of, and it's basically represents multiple news blurbs on Player Profiler, was the back-to-back release that Kyle Shanahan wants less wear and tear on Christian McCaffrey. And then you have beat reporters from San Francisco saying that the player that's in the lead for the RB2 chair is actually Jordan James. So those two things came out back to back. That was interesting to me.
When you said back to back release, I thought we were going to talk about DeShawn Watson.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yep.
I thought you were going to play the splash sound. Because that's the release.
The explosion?
No.
Well, that works.
That worked.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, fireworks? So what do you guys feel? How do you feel about this? This Jordan James, this is good. Isn't it? This is something? No?
Is it?
No, am I wrong?
We've been rugged by RB2 on San Fran many times.
Yeah.
I traded big picks for Brian Robinson. For Garendo. This has been one of those things I'd rather overpay when it happens.
Right. No, that's a fair point right there. I also wonder if they just feel like a team that is going to draft a running back here, and maybe that doesn't happen. And then you still have the Garendo thing, which, they certainly fell out of favor with him. But yeah, I think Jordan James, as of right now, if you ask me, is the backup, which gives him more value. I just don't know if I'm rushing to do that. Now, I would venture to guess that Jordan James is relatively free in most leagues, closer to free than anything else. And for that price, yeah, I think Matt is spot on that he's definitely worth an investment. I just wouldn't bend my will and make all the bets that Jordan James is definitely the backup to have should CMC get hurt, which, knock on all the wood, let's hope he doesn't.
Jordan James is the guy. We have a long history of this, going back to Mike Anderson, Orlandis Gary. We're talking about players that run a 4.5, a 4.6, but they know how to put their foot in the ground and get upfield in this stretch zone running scheme. And if they get the trust of the coach, then that's going to be the next guy in line. They're not going to be splitting it 60-40. It's going to be closer to like 70-30. Jordan James, if the backfield depth chart remains the same. But you're right. The 49ers are a prime candidate to draft a running back in the draft. That is true.
God forbid it's in the third round. We know about the 49ers third round running backs, Trey Sermon, right?
Oh, Trey Sermon. Who else?
What was the other dude? It was Joe Williams.
Joe Williams. Joe
Out at the table.
Dude.
Right.
Do we have Joe Williams on player? We might have Joe Williams.
you
That
do.
one though, and again, it's he Matt Waldman hit so many home runs that it's just funny when he strikes out, right? So it's we can only make fun of the Trey Sermon thing that he said was RB1 in that class. And again, Babe Ruth hit the most home runs, but he also led the league in strikeouts. So that one always sticks, when anytime I see that's how, with Trey Sermon, that's like an all-time miss though, because I know everyone in their rookie drafts was taking him in the top 5 picks. It just seems like that third round running back, man, forget about it. That's like a death curse for those guys.
Top 5 running backs, you mean? Because he was like an early second. Yeah. He was a second round pick.
Right.
Michael Carter.
Talking about?
I remember Michael
Carter.
Carter.
What we're talking about, where it's like, hey, everyone's chasing the, intermediate route target hog tied to Daniel Jones. So, I'm not that interested in Josh Downs, because this is always a tricky thing. Everyone sees the upside, but it's always hard to predict who it's going to be. And it's like, no, we're telling you that the guy is Josh Downs and he's super cheap. And in this particular situation, we're saying, actually, we do know who it is for the right now. There isn't any mystery. It's definitely Jordan James, and he's very cheap right now. So he's not. This isn't like a Trey Sermon where people are talking about him as the top handcuff in the NFL. That's not what's happening. It's like the value is there right now. Make sure that you're reflexively throwing in Jordan James to trades when you have the opportunity. That's all we're really saying here, because it's like there's a market inefficiency because there's uncertainty of who it's going to be. There's also this, everyone kind of forgets just how injury prone Christian McCaffrey is. He has a good year. He comes up and it's okay. He's solved all his problems, and then he pulls a glute, right? And the next thing you know, he's on the PUP list again.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean into your chat, because they mentioned the Niners need Tony Pollard, and it just got me thinking. What if Tennessee does draft Jeremiah Love and they make Tony Pollard expendable? What about even Alvin Kamara right now, who's completely expendable? There's going to be releases. Speaking of releases, there's going to be released players. After the cut down, after the draft, there's going to be the draft. There's just a lot that can happen. And for me, Jordan James isn't a high enough name to pronounce him. But yeah, if he can clear the rest of this offseason, as it stands right now, you're 100% right. He is in the number 2 chair. That I just don't know if I'd bet on him being that even by week 1, let alone by week 10, when you really need it to be the case.
I mean, we always make fun of people that when they talk about fantasy football sleepers, that like they name players that are rostered in every single league. At least this Jordan James is a true fantasy football sleeper, right? Like if it hits,
for sure, yeah.
This clip is the viral clip of the year.
We have to talk about him now. If we don't talk about him now, there's no point in talking about him.
Now's the time, for sure.
Like they're just now confirming like that the coaches prefer him to Garendo, and it makes sense. Like players like Garendo are always players like Abanikanda that we like. We like these guys.
Yes.
And we want them to like them like we like them, but they never seem to like them the way we like them. And they like guys like Jordan James, and we just have to deal with it. Just like Jordan Mason. And like it's like all these guys, like there's always some more explosive guy that we would prefer, but the coaches are going to go with a guy that picks up the blocking assignments,
Kyron Williams,
knows the playbook, and shows up early and all those things, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Tyrion Davis Price was mentioned in the chat too. That's another third round. Yeah.
Wow. It really is a long list. The Joe Williams was the best poll, but I love all these. I love the Sermon, the Tyrion Davis Price. I remember when these players were literal first round picks in Dynasty rookie drafts. That is not what we're talking about with Jordan James.
No.
Right.
The whole point of this is that there's some easy buys and some easy sells that are surfacing from these NFL owners meetings, and it is interesting.
You could probably send like the 304, 308, like some random 26th third round pick and get Jordan James, which you're probably not getting the backup running back for anybody at the 30 whatever in this year's draft. So
Wait, keep going with this for a second here, because if you send like your 303, 305 for him, the person's immediately going to like look up the news. What's the actual sneaky way to get him, you think? Because I think you're onto something here, but what's the tactic, you think, Jax?
I just like I said, throw him in, throw him in as a zero value to some other transaction that I'm doing. So it's sneaky and they don't really look him up because they're like, this fucking guy wants Jordan James, whatever. Jordan James, see you later. Bye.
Jax had the best trade tactic that I've ever heard, and it actually worked one time for me. That's why I always defer to him on these tactics. He said Friday night,
Saturday night,
people, Saturday night when they're drinking at like 11:30, start firing trades to people.
Yes. Guys like, oh, this fucking guy wants to trade with me. Let's go, bro. That's right. Yeah.
It literally works. I'm not kidding, because it worked on me. And when I heard him say that on a podcast last year, I go, this is it. This is like 10:30. Just fire him up.
Yeah, especially if
call him a chicken.
Yeah, if the guy is out with his family and he's been drinking.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
And everyone's talking and about nonsense and he's not interested, and then suddenly there's a text message about, and they're like, what happened to Dad? Dad's no longer in the conversation about us spinning our wheels about getting another dog or something. And then he's like, sorry guys, I gotta take this.
It increases your chances of an accept by like 23%,
Yeah. Guys just chopping up a line in the car or whatever, and he's like, hold on, let me get this, Yeah, you want him to be as inebriated as possible, which is why I came up with the sleeper breathalyzer, which would be an app you plug into the USB of the phone, and you have to, if you can't blow a 2.0, whatever the number is, you can't open the sleeper app, which
you can make that with Claude. You can make that with Claude Code today. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, man. The sleeper breathalyzer to prevent you from getting into this trouble. So worth a lot of money. I think
that's brilliant.
The people really appreciate that. The Sonic Truth, we don't just do rookie mocks. Everyone can do a rookie mock. Oh, get clicks with a rookie mock.
Yeah.
But we get some significantly positive feedback about the show that, hey, you guys dig into the players and the stats, and you're constantly surfacing and talking about things that other people aren't talking about, and you're not just doing the same old routine. And it's like, yeah, I don't remember us ever really digging into the NFL owners meetings, but this year we're always exploring new ways to add value for dynasty leaguers. DeShawn Watson.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson, it just at the NFL owners meeting, they are reminding us, putting him right in our face.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like, oh yeah, we have to stand up and pay attention to Deshaun Watson. He's there and he's not dead, and he single-handedly ruined their franchise. And Jimmy Haslam perpetuated it, of course, but Deshaun Watson followed through. And now they're in the situation where in this total rebuild because of this guy, but this guy is still there. He's not leaving. It's like he farted, the bathroom stinks, and he's just standing there. He won't even leave.
I mean,
I think he might have shit on the floor though, Matt.
Yeah, I think it was way more than a fart. I think that's
the
right.
upper decker.
You can't merely call Deshaun Watson a fart.
No.
That's no. You're right.
No.
By all accounts, though, all his teammates think that there's Joe Williams. Who was his comparator? Jeremy Langford. That's a good one.
Makes sense.
Yeah, by all accounts, though, all his teammates like Deshaun Watson. They think that he's like a good teammate himself. Off the field, obviously, is a whole different thing. And he seems like he's the ex-girlfriend that you have to go back to one more time just to make sure it's over with the investment right there. And look, I remember we used to use the Andy Dalton as like the Mendoza line when he was like 32 years old. If he's even just like the 24th best quarterback in the league, that's going to be better than pretty much what they have already, right? Like that's a good bridge to get to next year. Yeah, I think he's going to be fine for fantasy football, especially how flat like the quarterback tier is from 25 to 15.
Cedric Tillman.
Lest we forget that I think Deshaun Watson may be the craziest story in the history of football. Deshaun Watson still, even after his horrid play over the last few years, is still the 6th ranked quarterback in NFL history for quarterback rating.
Jesus.
Did you hear that?
Is it because of those early years?
Yes.
That is wild.
He was 6th. By the way, Russell Wilson somehow ahead of him. It's Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. That's your top 6 in the history of the NFL quarterback rating. I know that the quarterback rating obviously is much better in modern times. That all being said, it's just still crazy that we do forget how awesome he was. Dual threat, awesome quarterback, and then is the worst person than the worst quarterback. How does that even happen? How does he become that bad? So I am prepared for absolutely anything with Deshaun Watson, including some sort of a resurrection back to a top 10 quarterback. It's in the cards just because he did it. It's not like, no, I don't think it's more than possible. But I can't see it happening. But that possibility, it necessitates that you go out and get Deshaun Watson. Probably should have done so already because he's becoming more and more expensive given the news.
Deshaun Watson or Geno Smith, guys?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, man. No, Deshaun Watson's only 30 years old. Did you see the stats for Deshaun Watson when he was on Houston?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so stupid because I hate that we're
quarterback
here
every year.
Yeah,
and he's not dead yet. He's not even close to dead.
It's still likely that he flames out because he was so bad, and the leash has to be so short for any ownership and or coaching because everybody hates him. So
they're waiting for him. Yeah, they just want to get Shedeur Sanders in there and give him more reps and make a decision on Shedeur Sanders and figure out what he is.
Yep.
So they are gonna reverse engineer some vaudevillian Kane to get.
It's just crazy.
Deshaun Watson off the stage. They're going to do that event, but Deshaun Watson's going to get in there. He's going to be out there for, you got to think it half the season at least. You can project 8 to 9 games for this guy to play. And, I think the biggest beneficiary has to be Cedric Tillman, right? Cedric Tillman is a wide receiver who's not dead yet. He's only 25 years old, and he's best comparable to Nico Collins, and he's been completely sort of gutted. His production has been gutted by the quarterback play there. So if there was a player who turns 26, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt as a truther, it's going to be a guy like Cedric Tillman.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, back from the dead.
JB Mosley for the win in the group text or whatever the chat. Watson is on the Tiger Woods career path. Very, very well said.
There is that path.
Yep, yeah. He's on the career path. It's like, Tiger.
Yeah, sex addicts is an addiction.
Yeah,
right?
he's definitely.
I think you would rather Puka go to rehab for sex addiction than drugs or substance abuse, but it is a problem. All these addictions are problems. The only thing you really want to be addicted to is football.
Yeah,
and guess what? Jerry Rice never had to go to rehab for that.
No.
Right. Well, he's married now, Deshaun Watson, and I don't know. They're doing like a PR thing where him and the wife are like doing a ton of Instagram content, and they're showing like they're trying to like rehabilitate his image a little bit. And again, I think that we could see through anyone on Instagram, right? They're sitting on, just random Instagram influencers sitting on a Lamborghini, flashing money. Like we all know that's kind of BS at this point, but. Yeah, I mean, listen, by all accounts, I always make the joke that I don't care what the person does off the field, that I would draft Saddam Hussein if he gave me fantasy points,
He's dead, though.
Yeah, well, even better.
I'm joking.
Samani Alu, anyone who it is. But I'm just saying is like, I remember like when Tyreek Hill had his off the field stuff and people, clutched the pearls and he dropped to like the 5th round. Like,
are you watching this, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all this content.
Lamborghinis and money. That's what he's literally doing.
Yeah, I mean,
but he's skiing.
Yeah,
right.
What he's wearing.
He's living his best life, man. This guy's doing great.
Of course he is. He's got $300 million.
They gave him bazillions of dollars.
It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed.
After he was scandalized.
Well, it's all
Incredible.
sunk cost at this point, though, right? So they have to take one more shot. And if he's good, but the Browns are losing games, they'll also have options. There'll be, another team that trades for a 1-year contract, or who knows? I could even see. I mean, what if they end up 8 and 9 and they're out of like the elite QB, or what is it? Yeah, that's the right number of games. 8 and 9 next year because he's good or decent, and then they're out of the elite QB sweepstakes next year.
Incredible. What about Carnell Tate? What is it? 9 to the Browns.
Right.
Mhm.
I mean,
I think that's a very strong possibility.
At least
Very
one of
strong
the receivers.
possibility. It doesn't matter. There's very few options there now. Well, there is one really, really interesting option, which we need to talk about, which is the tight end, because now there's not going to be any David Njoku either.
That's correct.
So we're talking about one of the most productive rookie tight ends in Harold Fannin Jr. in the history of the NFL is now theoretically getting a big quarterback upgrade in a healthy Deshaun Watson. And that he's, a healthy family man now in Deshaun Watson with very little target competition. So again, this is another situation where we got a wide receiver in Cedric Tillman. We got a tight end who's more expensive, right? These young tight ends, man, what a time to be alive. If you're Harold Fannin, if you're Tyler Warren now, I mean, get these guys in Dynasty. You got to get them now.
Yep.
And then also, a wide receiver from those teams. And these are some of the teams with worst quarterback play that people have the lowest expectations for. It's not easy to mine value in Dynasty, but we are giving you a handful of gems here.
Harold Fannin feels like a buy high.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. And I love that it's both tight ends. We can use those examples from this, the Dynasty Dominator book. The great buy high and the great sell low example, which is Harold Fannin buy high, Dalton Kincaid sell low. Get whatever you can.
Would you give pick 6 and pick 8 for Harold Fannin in a 1.5 tight end premium, Jax?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, that's buy high, right?
Yeah.
Once Tate's off the board,
that's a huge buy high. And still, yes. Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. What are you going to get at pick 6 and pick 8, right? Maybe
well, Sadiq will go. If it's 1.5 tight end premium, Sadiq will go early then.
Yep.
Sadiq will go at
probably
4 or 3 or 4.
Well, that's the risk, right? You're risking Sadiq on a bad situation plus whatever you get at 8.
That's probably not going to get. You're not going to get Tate, and you're not going to get Sadiq. So then you're like Lemon. It depends on how much you like Lemon. If you really like Lemon, then you might not do that deal.
I don't know
Lemon
if you
will
value Mel Kiper's mock, but he's got Lemon going pick 6 to Cleveland. Mel Kiper in his latest mock. I don't know if you value him as a mocker or not.
I mean, Mekhi Lemon is. I really like. I really like Mekhi Lemon, and you already mentioned him because you like that he has a little bit of that. He has a little bit of the George Pickens crazy streak in him.
Yes.
But the question is he crazy competitive? Is he crazy? I don't care. I'm going to give up my body going across the middle crazy like Justin Jefferson. That's the kind of crazy we're looking for. You're not as interested in the Henry Ruggs crazy.
Right. I love Mekhi Lemon. He's my wide receiver one. So yeah.
Yes.
I like that.
Dude, Lemon's awesome. He's a great football player. I love the special teams production from Lemon. That's what really puts me over the top. He clearly understands how to get leverage on the football field. And it's just, can just tell this is a smooth football player who's going to transition to the league very well.
Tough as nails, run after the catch, break tackle, slot maven, target earner. Like, what else do we want?
Yeah, he can play slot right away. Yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So
Hyper,
I think if I thought because it's tight end premium and Sadiq will go early, and who knows in tight end premium rookie drafts, crazy things happen.
Taking Sadiq over Mekhi Lemon in a rookie draft, I don't care if it's 100-point PPR for tight end.
People are going to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Again, the reason I brought up Kuiper's
crazy. But you know what'll happen in a tight end premium rookie draft. For a first round super athletic tight end? Don't you remember Kyle Pitts was going ahead of Jamar Chase?
This isn't
in
Kyle
that
Pitts.
format.
He wasn't even the best tight end on his college team.
Right.
Sadiq, not the best tight end on his college.
I'm just saying what's going to happen.
So
I'm not.
We're drafting
trying
a
to
college
bum
tight
you
end too.
out.
Get out of here with.
I mean, let's ask the chat. I mean, the chat. I mean, people in the chat in tight end premium rookie drafts. Do you think Sadiq is going to end up going ahead of Lemon?
I've seen a million mock drafts. I've never seen that happen. Not even once. Not even double PPR. I've never seen it. But Lemon always goes ahead of him. Doesn't matter the format.
Really?
It's what I've seen. Anecdotally, what I've seen.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It's going to change after the draft too, obviously, right?
I mean, we'll see.
Change.
If Lemon ends up going to the Browns and Sadiq ends up landing well, and it's very possible he lands well.
Let's do that exercise. Lemon to the Browns at 6, Sadiq to the Chiefs at 9.
Feedback. You're getting some feedback, by the way.
I am?
No, from the chat.
Oh.
On the question.
So what do you think though? If Sadiq goes to the Chiefs at 9,
what?
I'm saying that's what
they're not drafting Sadiq at 9.
That's what the Kuiper mock has. That's why I bring it up.
Lunatic. There's no way they're taking Sadiq at 9.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I've done it again.
What are we doing?
I think I've done it again. You guys have said it's such a high bar in Dynasty. There's so many podcasts. There's so much analysis out there. It's really hard to differentiate. And all we've done on this show is give people tomorrow's newspaper that wasn't available on Reddit or Twitter or across, 10,000 podcasts. And here again, we're doing it again. Literally, no one has seen this. No one has seen, and I'm telling you, now, well before it happens, a month before it happens, you're going to be seeing it in actual tight end premium rookie drafts. You are going to be seeing maybe even multiple, maybe even Stowers.
I thought it was Stowers, but I don't.
Stowers?
I'm just going on what I hear on pods.
I thought it was like Towers.
Stowers.
So
Stowers?
I don't know him.
Either way, you're going to see some crazy stuff. It depends on the landing spots. Again, Lemon goes to the Browns.
I got it right here. The pronunciation. It's a Chan.
Eli Stowers, it says right
here. Chan. It's a Chan.
Rhymes with sky.
That's a callback to a different show.
It's Etchen.
I love it.
No, you're right. Jax, you said Stowers, right?
Yeah, Towers.
Yeah, it says right here, rhymes with flowers.
Or Towers.
Or Towers, right.
Stowers, not Stowers. Stowers.
It's Brock Bowers.
I do have Stowers is my tight end one.
It's not. Is it Brock Bowers?
Brock Bowers, yeah.
Brock Bowers.
Is it Brock Bowers? Wow.
It's Eli Stowers and Brock Bowers.
Yes, that's correct. That's good.
Fantastic. You guys ready for the next news item?
By the way, Stowers tight end one, not Sadiq.
A lot of people think that.
Yeah,
and they're why I'm mentioning this.
But
then they're gonna do it.
And
they're
going to
do it. They're gonna steam these two guys up in tight end premium rookie drafts like you've never seen.
Neither one of them should really be first round tight ends in a rookie draft. They're really 1-2 turn type prospects that are getting steamed up. Sadiq is the classic early second round tight end, like where you're like huge upside, but you understand there's a huge floor because he wasn't a target earner at any point in college ever. So I'm sure he's just going to go to the NFL and dominate. But Stowers, both of those guys did a lot at the college level, but they also can't block anybody. So therefore getting on the field is going to be difficult for Stowers. And for those reasons, both of them are a little bit flawed. If you could combine the two, you'd have an elite tight end.
That's that again, yet more analysis you're not going to hear anywhere else. And of all the guys that are going to see the field the quickest, it's going to be Lemon. Lemon is the best equipped to see the field right away. Yeah, I love Lemon. And that's what's nice about, if you don't get the first or second pick in Superflex, there's a huge cliff down to the 103. I get it. But at least with the 103, 104, you're talking about a Tate and a Lemon. And these are set it and forget it wide receivers for many years. If things like kind of break the way we think they are with them. So
I would consider drafting Lemon at 102.
Ahead of the quarterbacks? Or?
Ahead of Mendoza in a Superflex league?
I would consider it, yeah. Who do you prefer, CJ Stroud or Amon-Ra St. Brown in Dynasty?
I mean, you're flipping the blackjack cards over and then asking me which hand I
Okay.
want. But you got to tell me which hand you want when the
You
cards.
prefer C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, or Amon-Ra St. Brown, or JSN? Which one do you prefer?
I mean, obviously, we know the value of those guys, right? So
just a quick.
I mean, the receivers.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Do you prefer Josh Allen or Josh Downs?
Correct. Do you think that? Right. That's the question. So that's why I said I would consider it. Do you think that Fernando Mendoza is more likely C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or Josh Allen?
The
Do
first.
you think that Mekhi Lemon is more? And that's the question. Josh Downs or JSN? That's right. And they're probably neither. But it's somewhere in there. I think it's close enough. I think is my point.
Mekhi Lemon's absolutely fantastic.
He's really good, man.
We made it. There's the news item that I thought was the most important. Came out from Carolina, and this just for some reason, I don't know why this surprised me, but it was like, oh yeah. Jonathan Brooks going to be ready for camp.
Yep.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, and if they let Dowdle go, they have Chuba Hubbard, but I don't think he's blocking much. And if they don't draft a running back of consequence, which actually is technically impossible in this draft, then he has a free reign to the RB1 chair in this offense. So Jonathan Brooks still only what's his age there? 22, 22-year-old. It's incredible. If he's healthy, I'm all in on Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, and they also have Trevor Etienne. They're not going to find a running back better than Trevor Etienne, probably where they want to take one. So he's locked into the third spot too. Now, this is the downside is he's in a committee, right? And then you get
maybe,
that's
what's
great.
the downside? There's no downside.
That's my point.
Talk about the downside with Josh Downs. There's no downside.
No.
Would you guys give the 111 in your rookie draft?
They don't cost anything.
Would you give the 111 on the clock for Brooks?
Jordan James downside?
Probably not. But it depends. Probably not. I don't think you have to either. Right, I don't think anybody who's selling Brooks is necessarily selling for that, but that's probably a bit pricey. But somewhere in the early second for sure.
But I'm just saying, is like if you have the 111 and the 211, you don't have an early second, right?
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you don't want to make the pick. You guys know who's going to go at 111, what the type of players are. It's going to be like a first-round receiver, a top 40 overall pick receiver. And if you think Brooks is going to be the lead back, and they said, look, if you want Brooks, that's the price. I mean, it's an overpay, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't win every trade on value. And if you think Brooks is going to be a top 15, top 18 running back, you're going to love paying that price. 22 years old. If Brooks was there, that's where you take him.
The health is the issue. So, I mean, that's if I had a crystal ball and just knew he's healthy, just that alone, I think I'd be okay with it. But I mean, it's been a little scary those last couple of years.
Haven't we seen running backs come back from a ACL with multiple tears? Didn't Frank Gore? Haven't we seen this before?
Yeah,
this has happened before. Like you can come back. They swap the thing out. It's like a cadaver ligament.
Yeah.
They swap the whole thing out. It's like a tire change. It's like, oh well, that car is on its third set of tires. I don't think I can trust it. What are we talking about here?
Those are shoes, though. I think that we're talking about the suspension components here. The axle is fucking bent.
He got hurt.
Yeah,
it's going to take a while, but he's going to be back.
He's had complications from
Tank Dell. Like there was news about Tank Dell that came out.
Yeah, and I love Tank Dell too, and that one was a little bit more horrific. I guess there's different types of injuries. I'm not a doctor, but I do believe that when you really wrench up the knee the way that Tank Dell did, it's a little bit more difficult to come back. Look, Jonathan Brooks, from what I understand, is a clean ACL. It's just it happened multiple times over and over again. It's like, geez, Louise, are we going to be out of the woods here, or what's going on? So I don't know what that all means. If you're like I said, if you tell me he's healthy, I'm kind of in. I love
that's the whole thing. You don't know. So here you go. You're on the clock. Remember, I suggested that 111 pick for him. These are the three most likely players you're going to be, or four most likely players that are going to be available if things go to form that we think they are. Denzel Boston as a top 40 pick, Ty Simpson as a first round pick, meaning like real NFL draft capital, Stowers, which you just talked about, as a second round or late first tight end. So Jonathan Brooks or any of those players. That's who's going to be available to you when you're OTC.
Yeah, that's close. Stowers, Stowers is a player I'm strongly considering there. So
right, well, that's
Stowers is still on the board. It makes it hard. That's why I want to get him off the board, and then I'm a yes. Also, in what you just shared is Jadarian Price. Well, might as well, bury the lead here. Jadarian Price is the one running back, and I know Matt wants to ask this question of me. Is the one running back that I think could have some upside in this class. And he could also get the draft capital requisite to get the opportunity to pose value. So if he's on the board, also you have to really strongly consider keeping the 111 and Jadarian Price or Eli Stowers over Jonathan Brooks.
Yes, in tight end premium, it really does make the first round much more palatable than it would have otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, thank God.
Yes.
Right. And by the way, people are asking about Cody. Where's Cody? Was Cody fired? Cody can't do every show. Cody's got a lot of responsibilities.
Cody was fired.
Cody's traveling. He get some weeks people aren't available to turn their studio into the Sonic Truth podcast.
Cody.
Where's Cody?
Cody's going to be with us in Pittsburgh at the NFL Draft Show.
Prove it. Right? I don't believe it.
With Alan. Not Alan. I wish Alan would be there.
Yeah.
I wish Jax could be there.
Yeah.
With
we would all end up
Alex
at
Dunlap, Matty Kiwoom.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the player profiler, NFL draft analysis studs there in Pittsburgh. So you can watch every draft pick come in with us, and we will analyze it for fantasy football and especially dynasty leagues.
Cody's great for that. That's for sure. He knows every player.
You know who's good at that also, who when you guys do those live streams, is Bradley. He's very good at chewing, like an innings eater, chews time, has a lot of good stuff to say.
Bradley's great.
Yeah,
Bradley might have to dial in. Bradley has 6 kids.
Does he? You know what? That makes sense. He seems like a guy that just doesn't have bad pullout game.
Yeah.
Bradley has 6, and every time I talk to him, his wife is
release.
So I don't know if they're on 7 or 8. I don't know what
he
number
just blasts it right in there. No problem.
No problem.
Cream pie.
Oh boy.
Should we give Bradley? Yes, we should maybe give him a little
6.
Yeah. Bradley and his cream pie kink.
But people have more than I think it's more than 5 is real. Then you don't even have a vehicle that you can put all your family in. You have to get some sort of a a school van type of thing.
You get a van. You get one of these
4 rows.
Crazy.
Figure it out. An actual like a bus almost. Really, it's like a small bus is what.
Well, you give up the performance. I think one of the things that Bradley had to figure out and come to terms with was hey, I love this family. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I am going to have to give up one thing. I can no longer have a performance car.
Forget about
cars or performance. There's not my cars no longer are great at cornering or getting off the line. That's not, I'm putting that off to the side, maybe years and years and years from now, but that's the one compromise
to get into the vehicle you have now is what I'm saying.
6 kids, man. It sounds like he's on the bang bus, this guy. I mean, it's ridiculous.
There's Alan. There he is. Thanks, Alan. I was wondering, where is Alan? Now
they don't make kids on those, Alan. That's all performative. That's just a show.
Alan's back.
They're not actually making kids.
They're just practicing. They're practicing.
That's a practice. They film it for you though. That's nice of them.
I have a running back that I think needs to be in the conversation in terms of, who could potentially challenge Jeremiah Love from this class? No one is saying anyone is challenging Jeremiah Love right now. There's essentially no RB2. There's no second tier RB. There's just Jeremiah Love, and then there's a whole bunch of guys way, 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 way down the board.
Correct.
Wait, Podfather guys, I got a Jeremiah Love question here, right? So it's not is he going to be the number 1 rookie pick? It's who would you trade to get Jeremiah Love, right? I'm seeing him in the consensus ranking. Love unlanded RB4 in Dynasty startup drafts. That blew my mind. And then, I mean, maybe I just like have to get recalibrated that he's on like the Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson prospect tier. But
Yes.
wow, like unlanded, you're willing to take this guy in the first round of a startup draft? That I mean, okay, like I'm with it. I just needed a minute to comprehend that.
When was the last running back of that pedigree that let you down? I mean, Genty, you'd say maybe, but he didn't. He actually was awesome and played for one of the worst teams. Like, these guys don't really fail. They just basically, if they're on a bad team, they don't quite get there, but they don't bust really. They don't really ever bust.
Yeah, the outlier to the bad is the Trent Richardson thing, right?
Like 1,000 yards in his first season. I mean, I'm not saying he's the biggest bust of all time, and still kind of wasn't.
There's a million Zekes and Fournettes that are like
Early,
fine.
All of them.
Bijan and Gibbs.
All of them. They just all hit. Yeah,
I was just surprised that unlanded he's 4 already, but okay.
Yeah. But you did cut off Matt when he was making a really, really good lead in, and he had a point he was making, and then he was setting it up and crafting it, and then you were like, you know what? Hold on a quick sec. I got a completely unrelated question I want to ask. So it's
totally fine. Yeah, I can stick and move on these, and notice that I just let Alan have the floor, and I'm not trying to interrupt him, and I want to hear everything he has to say.
That's very valuable.
And I will tell you, Alan, that we're not quite there yet. We have at RB5 in the Dynasty rankings on Player Profiler. Go to Player Profiler, Dynasty Deluxe. We've got a draft planner. We've got Trade Analyzer, Trade Finder, Dynasty Deluxe Guide, the Dynasty Dominator book, the Rookie Guide, which Jax and Alan have contributed to. So it's all there. It's only what $45, less than $4 a month. So it's crazy, right? In terms of the value you get from the Dynasty Deluxe package on playerprofiler.com. And we have a Marion Hampton ahead. Hampton has the landing spot. It's perfect. He has the profile, and he's already shown that he can do things just like Jeremiah Love. He's also very young, so he's going to have, there's no age premium that you would assign to Love over Hampton. There's not a strong case unless Love lands in Washington. If Love lands in Washington, then let's just play this game. If Love lands in Washington, okay, he is basically he's already being selected at the end of the first round in 1 QB startups. If he lands in Washington, I think you're potentially drafting him over Ashton Genty. And then the question is, would you draft him over Neighbors and Jefferson? Lamb? I mean, it's possible you could see a world where people are selecting Jeremiah Love at pick 6 in startups.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. As a matter of fact, if you could,
Alan, are you processing this?
Yeah, if you're in a league with me, send me the 1.01.
Bothered me with some unrelated question, and I had a point to make 10 minutes ago, and then I went ahead and answered you in the best possible way anyone could ever answer, and you got nothing from me?
I'm dumbfounded at that, right? Like, what if he goes to the Giants and he's splitting with somebody we find is a credible, I think that you're looking at the glass half empty, and that makes sense. But I'm telling you, what if the glass is half full and he does go to Washington? I'm asking you the question. Is Washington a good spot? You think that, like, with Jaden Daniels taking 700 rushing yards off the table, with 2 running backs there that are proven to be pro-ready, running backs in Bill and Rashad White, I don't think that's a great landing spot for elite high end. I mean, he just the profile is the best thing about him, right? Like, that's why you would take him. But I don't know. There's so many other guys that you could take there that are just proven winners at this point. That's why I don't draft guys like that in startups that early.
But Jax, do you think Washington's a good landing spot?
Yeah, Jeremiah Love is the landing spot. Like,
right, it doesn't matter.
That's the thing. We you can say, oh, crowded this or that for mortals, but when you have a player like Jeremiah Love, he's going to create his own space, and whomever is there is in trouble when he gets there. Right. Now, is it right off the rip? Not always. I mean, we've seen this time and time. I caution everybody to, because they're going to get Jeremiah Love on their team. They're going to be like, week 1, put him in. And then it's like, he got like, 10 carries or something, or 5 carries. And you're like, what is going on? People freak out. They lose their mind. This happened with JT. It happened with Nick Chubb. It happens to many, many backs all the time, that they just don't start off, getting 20 carries. That's not how it works. But all that to say, in very short order, Jeremiah Love will be the number 1 running back without committee or competition in whichever backfield he goes to. And that includes Washington, Tennessee, or even New York, where there's some pretty good backs there too, in Scadaboo and Tracy. But I do think it's going to be Tennessee, and I don't love the landing spot for that reason, for the reason of the offense. But, that's what the Ashton Genty situation was. But those things tend to change also pretty quickly, because nothing, if they're terrible, the quarterback changes, the coach changes, everything changes if they're terrible.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee drafts an elite guard. Suddenly it's a great landing. It's not hard. Like it's actually quite easy to convert Tennessee from a bad to a good situation for a running back.
That's right.
That's basically with Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson made that a great environment for Jonathan Taylor.
And they never really
quarterback
had,
is. I mean, they had Anthony Richardson. Think of the quarterbacks that they've had in Indianapolis, and who is the anchor of that offense? It's actually Quentin Nelson, and that's the reason why you're always drafting Jonathan Taylor, and that's all. Sometimes it's just that simple, and it's why you can't just fade a running back because you don't like the team. It's a quarterback or a lineman sometimes away from completely reinventing that offense.
Saquon was on terrible teams the entire time until he got to Philadelphia, and was still, that guy. So I agree with Matt 100% here. But Matt, can you get to your question? Because I was enthralled.
I had a question.
One more point.
Alan has his own agenda for the show.
Hold on, one more point.
He wants us to help him dominate his own drafts.
Hold on.
Position, and he's going to interrupt us no matter what.
Go ahead,
see what's happening right now?
No,
drag it out.
The last thing I'll say, Titans had Derrick Henry even had 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns on Tennessee. Right? You can't worry about the uniform. They have Brian Dable. Now make your point.
With Ryan Tannehill.
Great job sneaking that one in, Alan. Great job.
So my point is, there is this tier 2, or there's really a tier 3. There's no tier 2. There's a fight among a handful of running backs to create a tier 2. They're like, we want to build a place of our own to live. And they were like, well, who is it going to be? And I have 2 candidates for who could be tier 2.
Okay.
The one is easy. The one is just systematic. It's just, hey, were you also a really quality prospect, but trapped behind like a generational guy? Then you're automatically in. I don't have to look at your workouts. I don't have to look at your tape. You're in. Like I was in on Jadarian Price just on principle. Right. So the next question is, well, who could the next guy be? Who could challenge Jadarian Price to be the RB2 in this class and potentially close the gap, the tier gap, from Love to the next guy? And that has to be Nicholas Singleton. Nicholas Singleton had a 1,000-yard season as a freshman. He's 220 pounds. He has a 40 catch season on his resume. So just because the guy no-showed the pre-draft process for whatever reason, like that will always suppress his value. In this case, injury, which is a concern in and of itself.
Yeah.
But to me, this is where the value is. I'm hunting for value. I'm trying to find who's a guy where if things had broke differently for him, then potentially he could be like the clear like 1B from this class that we talk about, instead of him just sort of being in the mix with guys like Mike Washington and Emmett Johnson. And I'm like, no. Because he also had another NFL caliber running back in Katron Allen on that team. So again, he and Jadarian Price have a case to be made that, hey, they would have been even more productive.
Yeah. So after Nick Singleton's freshman season, he was the RB1 of the 2024 running back class. Everybody was like, dude, this is the Nick Singleton. You're tanking for Singleton. And then his sophomore season, it was awful. And a lot of people started to second guess him. And then he had a great junior year and he didn't come out for some reason. And then back for his senior year, which was again uninspiring. And I am really split on Nick Singleton because I see the upside. So I do think he's probably more of a huge upside swing. But here's the thing, Matt. Sean Tucker, Jamar Jefferson, Zach Evans. There's been a number of backs that at this time we were saying are going to be top. If you remember, I know you do, when we were doing mock drafts, Jamar Jefferson was like in the top 5 of a rookie
Zach
draft.
Evans is a great call because
These
Zach
guys
Evans
just
was a coveted college running back. Like he was one of those original like transfer portal type guys. I think he went from Baylor. Old Miss wooed him away from Baylor for his final season.
My point is like he could just get 6th round capital and we'd be like, what? Like it's anything's in the cards right now. So I agree with you on profile alone. Like if you look at Nick Singleton, it's like, oh my God, this profile is unbelievable. He just dominated in his first year out of high school in a major conference, right? Was unbelievable. So like you can't just make that go away, but also what is the injury? What is the draft? What happens here going forward could change everything. It's crazy. So I'm with you to a certain extent, but as of planting my flag on Nick Singleton, I have to be careful because I've seen this movie too many times. In terms of who has the most upside on paper, it's Nick Singleton. Jadarian Price, it's a black box, right? Like, you could ask, why didn't he carve out more opportunity in Notre Dame? Well, he's Jeremiah Love. It's like, well, okay, but obviously, how much worse or not, also the pass catching, Matt. He had 6 receptions last year, whatever, I mean, you could accidentally give a guy 6 receptions. I mean, there's fullbacks who get 6. Like that's nothing. So the pass game stuff at the NFL level is an issue. And I would just say whomever, whether it's at pick 32 or pick 64, whomever the Seattle Seahawks draft, if they draft a running back, they only have 3 picks. If they take a running back at one of those first 2 picks, whomever that is likely becomes the RB2 in this class.
Right. It's like what we used to say about the Kansas City running back. That guy just gets pushed up. Now it's
whether we like that player or not. It's a Clyde Edwards-Helaire situation all over again. Yep. It really is.
Which, by the way, was a mistake, which was I mean, famously on this show.
Of course, yeah.
And this is another player that would be drafted in real drafts for real money ahead of Mekhi Lemon.
Who's this?
If he goes to Seattle, you're going to start to see people drafting it at 32, people taking Price over Lemon.
Yes. At 32,
the thing that's going to happen if he goes to Seattle and then there's all this buzz. I can hear it already.
Yes.
I can see it already. I can smell it already.
Yes.
Because I've done this so many times. There's so many seasons I've gone through this. I know I can see it coming.
Yes.
And you can't believe it. You can't believe Jamar Chase is available at the 105 in Superflex.
Right.
You just can't believe it.
Justin Jefferson at the 109.
You don't understand it.
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But there's long articles, newsletters written in fantasy about why Kyle Pitts is the 101. And it's like, what is going on?
The other thing that could happen is that pick 32 is always a coveted spot for the 5th-year option stuff. So Seattle could trade out of there, and then Price could be a top 10 pick on day 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Seattle trades back 5 slots or something.
8 slots.
Someone that wants to
whatever.
move up to get a Keon Coleman.
Right. To get Ty Simpson
Chris Brazzle.
Or Ty Simpson if he falls, right? Something like that.
Is Brazzle this year's Keon Coleman, you think?
No, I don't know. No, I don't think he's going to get that capital, but he might be. Whoever they launch up there, I mean, that'd be the guy. Whoever they
who's going to be the biggest bust from this wide receiver class?
Biggest bust.
So it has to factor in cost, right? Not
right.
just like pick some day 3 guy.
That's right.
Hey, real quick,
Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Dalton?
I mean, it's got to be one of the 3 guys that are going in the top 15, 20 picks, right?
I'll say of the first 3, who you got?
Jordan Tyson because of injury, I'll say.
Yeah.
don't trust him with the injury history.
It's fair.
So.
Yeah, I think Jordan Tyson's the low hanging fruit on that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're trying to hit a pick here. I'm just looking to see who's got an early second round pick that could trade into that pick 32 spot. The Browns have the 7th pick, 39th overall. Would they trade into that 32 spot to take Ty Simpson if he falls? Or they're already log jammed at QB?
I don't mind that at all. That's a good one, Alan. Yeah, I don't know. What about a sleeper wide receiver? Do you guys got any sleeper wide receivers? I have one.
Maybe the Jets would move into that little spot there. They have so much capital,
Right.
Very possible.
I don't see them as a top 10. Where do they? The Jets don't pick in the second. Did they trade their second round pick?
Oh, they don't have a second?
I don't see it.
Maybe they don't. I don't know. I was just thinking of teams. Yeah.
So Podfather, you asked about a sleeper wide receiver. I think
Jets have a second round pick.
What number is it? Because I don't see it on.
I think they have the first pick in the second round, don't they?
Okay, then that's why I missed it. So they could move up one spot to get the 5th-year option, maybe.
They also don't they have the Cowboys pick at 44?
They've got a bunch of picks, man. They're loaded.
Yes,
Miami and the Jets are both loaded with picks.
You're right. 40. Then at 44 they have, and the 32. So 33.
The Jets are going wide receiver in the second round. You can book that.
Yep. You asked about a sleeper wide receiver. It sounds like every fantasy dynasty show for the right reasons is picking Ted Hurst, right? Like that seems to be the
are you serious?
Everyone's on.
My God. Dude, I already had it queued up to talk about.
Yeah, it's for good reason, right? Like
this is annoying. I used to be much more of a lone wolf with guys from Georgia State, right? But then Chev from our team we have a Rookie HQ YouTube channel. You should check it. Everyone should go subscribe to the Rookie HQ YouTube channel. He breaks guys. Chev is breaking these guys down. He puts these prospect videos up there, and the Ted Hurst one really got me, man. Dude. I mean, he has the 80th percentile athleticism across the board. He was productive. We're talking about a Georgia State guy with size. It's like, oh my God, what a gift. Like this is everything I'm looking for. This is center of the Venn diagram, my friends.
You want to hear how hype it's gotten? The guy.
Oh my God. Tell me the hype. Cause I am not always aware of all the hype. I can always imagine that no one is going to give a shit about Josh Downs. But when it comes to these rookies, sometimes I get a little bit blindsided by the hype that I wasn't aware of. Go ahead.
I mean, I know you had a feud with the Dynasty nerds, but the guy Matt from Dynasty Nerds said that this guy's got Josh Gordon upside. That was his take on it.
Oh my God. Yeah. I like the Dynasty nerds.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you had a feud with them.
No. I love Dynasty nerds.
I'm representing.
Great.
But yeah,
you have a Dynasty Nerds t-shirt on.
Yeah.
Dynasty Nerds. They're like the top, the top promoters of Fast Draft and the Origins tournament, the all rookie game. If you love Ted Hurst, then you should be drafting him for money on Fast Draft in the Origins tournament. That's what you should be doing. If you think that Jadarian Price could land really well, you should be getting a bunch of Jadarian Price, and there's a whole portfolio where you can actually check your portfolio. And instead of like doing just mocks or imagining what you might do in May with your rookie drafts, you can actually draft now on Fast Draft and use code FAST. That's right. Or use code TRUTH, whatever it is. So
Cody has him as his 23rd ranked superflex player, Hurst. Meaning he'd take him at the 211 in rookie drafts.
Oh, in rookie drafts. I thought you meant overall.
No, in rookie superflex. I'm just saying I agree with you. Like again, I don't know much about him, but I'm telling you, people are starting to be on him. By the time we draft, he's going to be going at the 205.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got no. What? I guess. I got a hot take here. I got a hot take for you guys. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this hot take? I think that tell me if this is hot at all. First of all, it couldn't get any worse than it was in Vegas. And if they signing Kirk Cousins, drafting Mendoza, getting a whole new offensive line coach, improving the offensive line, no wide receiver talent, like the least talented, the lowest talent level aggregate wide receivers you could possibly get on a particular roster. though I am interested, a little bit in like Dante Thornton. Like, I think this guy's interesting. I think there's some sleeper potential there, of course. But when we talk about consolidating around Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Downs, we're talking about like down the spine of the roster. I mean, it doesn't get more consolidated down the spine of the roster than in Las Vegas, where you have Bowers and you have Genty, where you could have Bowers breaking records this year and you could have Genty as the RB3 in fantasy very easily. I guess not. That's not hot. I guess that's not hot, right?
Mm-mm.
It's not hot at all.
It's a good take.
I just think it's one of those things it's like Josh Downs. This has been staring us in the face all along. This has been staring us in the face all along. They have completely jettisoned the receivers that could command targets. And so now they're just going to like some speedy guys on the outside. And that means all the targets are going to, and especially with a young quarterback, are going to be down the spine. And if you have Kirk Cousins, great. He'll matriculate the ball down the field more efficiently than a rookie quarterback. And then you have some additional touchdown upside for Genty and Bowers when Cousins is out there. And you have a little bit of additional target upside when it's Mendoza. Either way, no matter what happens in the situation this year, as long as you know there's going to be better quarterback play and much better offensive line play, then the two big winners have to be Bowers and Genty.
Yes.
Take it, Alan. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yep. Can I derail again? Can I derail?
Yeah, of course.
Derail.
Yeah, that was a good take. It's not a hot take. It's a good take. But I'm curious because you were Podfather was talking about Ted Hurst, the rookie receiver, as a sleeper.
Yeah.
I kind of splashed cold water saying he's a popular sleeper. Jax, have you experienced the same thing with him? Because I'm curious about it because I don't know anything about him other than what I hear on podcasts. I don't watch the film on him, anything like that. Where do you think Hurst is? Because I thought this was a great topic, Podfather.
Anytime you can draft a limited player from a small school
he doesn't like him.
Who's a downfield threat, you got to do it. You got to take that athleticism, size, speed. When has that profile ever failed you? Speaking of Dante Thornton, I mean, and he came from even he was a much higher level recruit and prospect than Ted Hurst. Ted Hurst is very enthralling and he's very exciting. I just don't know that he's a finished product. A lot of what I hear from, people love him. Like I'll listen to Josh Norris and Hayden Winks on the Underdog. I love the show they do. They do a quick little show. They talk about each prospect. So if you're curious about a prospect, you can look it up and listen. And they give a good film take. I like it. You hear them talk about it. Even when they're talking positively, it's like, it doesn't necessarily translate to the NFL unless he gets a lot better very quickly. They asked a pretty.
I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying. There's like a prism that we listen to these guys through, and you're like, what you're saying is very positive. You have a like an upward inflection in your voice. You're very excited about what you're saying, and you're using this as a pause to make a case that this guy's underrated. What I'm hearing, what I'm actually hearing is not necessarily going to score a lot of fantasy points.
Bingo. That's right.
Yeah, that happens. Right. And this is why, Alan, in terms of real life, we follow our process. And our process is after the first round, we're taking running backs.
Yep.
And sidestepping, you're sidestepping all these guys. Yeah. I don't get a lot of Ted Hurst, and I love Ted Hurst. And when I have to watch him go by, it's sad, but I'm not going to do it because I know time and time again that guy is probably going to flame out in some way. Wide receivers have a lot of different ways to flame out that running backs don't. Yeah. They can flame out because of quarterback play. They can flame out because of system. They can flame out because of the coach. They can flame out because of injury. They can flame out because of off the field because all wide receivers are crazy. Yeah. I mean, there's just so many different ways that wide receivers can flame out, or they're not polished enough. They're dropping balls in traffic. Who knows why? It's such a difficult tightrope to walk if you're to be a productive wide receiver in the NFL. There's so many ways you can fail. Don't do that to yourself. Just stockpile rookie running backs and rookie drafts. That's it.
You've said that for years and it works out. Like, yeah, sure. Sometimes you land on the Dylan Laube stuff that happens, but you were touting Woody Marks as a proactive pick last year. Those type of players.
Shots fired.
No. Woody Marks was a good pick.
No,
in
no,
rookie.
yeah, the Dylan Lowry.
Oh,
like,
yeah. But
you got-
I mean,
what,
Well, I like to think more about Kamani Vidal.
right. Well, I'm saying that happens,
That
right?
was
I
my
mean,
guy.
Lauby or Loeb, whatever the hell his name is,
Yeah.
he sometimes wouldn't even go drafted in like
Yeah,
4 round rookie
Urbana
mock.
Candace. They're out there, man.
Right.
But it's just there's so many more of those wide receivers that are out there. It's wild. There's so many more of the Mecole Hardmans. Just oof. Don't do it.
Yeah, and that,
Hey,
and
guys,
that's the
guys,
thing.
I'm going to leave you because I have to jump out, but we need to do this more for the people. I appreciate. Sorry that I have to bounce at 12:30 Eastern here, but go on, do your thing, and let's do it more. Okay, guys?
Alan, it was 12:29, and I was getting ready to go out because I saw the
Yes.
clock. And you
Oh,
didn't trust,
okay.
you got to
don't-
trust your fucking host, man.
Yeah,
God damn it! Now we're going out on that. Fuck you. You know, it's important to me that all of our media be free, but it is you, the premium subscriber, with access to data analysis, the rankings, Dynasty Deluxe, DFS Dominator, the world famous draft kit. You get that content and you make all of this possible. The free podcasts, articles, NFL draft content. So I must give a special thanks to all of our premium subscribers. You make all of this possible.